In 2019, Achieving Women Equity Funds was started in the United States, an early growth venture fund that invests in women-led companies. To date, they have invested close to $28 billion plus. Let's understand a little bit more about their plans. We've got Seema Chaturvedi, who's the managing partner at awefunds. Thank you so much for joining in. So tell us a little bit more about the financial ecosystem, because you've been in that for the past 2 decades. You've really honed your financial knowledge, and then you made your debut into the stock markets. Tell us more.
I've been in this industry for more than 2 decades, and what inspired me was the alignment it had with my, I guess, now evolved mission and vision of what I could do to uniquely create value. And it intersects with, of course, my academic and my experience set background, but also with my aligned values of what we can do together as a society in driving inclusive growth in a manner that actually creates sustainable value such that we can scale and continue growing the value creation that we do with uh, the investments that we make. So I have been investing for over 20 plus years, and what drives as a common thread in all of my practice is uh, driving superior financial returns along with sustained impact creation. We become more intentional about it through our funds. But if I look back at my journey, which began in India with JM Financial, where we were taking companies public, to Shearson Lehman, where we were managing people's wealth, to Amherst Partners, and the last two being in the US, where we were managing mergers, acquisitions, and then becoming an entrepreneur myself back in the day and setting up Accelerator Group to essentially invest for companies through their balance sheets in a manner that we were driving strategic growth, but also helping them grow their own economic value. So in the years that we have, that I have led this, I've added about 5 billion in the overall value creation.
And I understand that the Oracle of Omaha, nonetheless, that is Warren Buffett, made a big impact on your choice for a career in finance.
Absolutely. I mean, when I looked at his journey and I realized, again, that was something that opened my eyes to how his journey inspired me to intersect my values with my training, academic and professional, and look at it and say, this is something uniquely suited to me and something that I'm good at and I can actively contribute and continue doing that over a period of time. So Warren Buffett, like for many others, was definitely an inspiration for me in taking my skills, my tools, and my knowledge and my interests in delivering what I keep saying is my contribution to creating economic value.
And you also founded Achieving Women Equity Funds, and you started this off in the year 2019. How much have you mobilized so far? What's the long-term game plan?
We have we backed 5 companies in total right now using this thesis. 3 were in that fund zero I spoke of, which is the warehouse fund. After announcing first close, which we did in 2023, June 4th, 2023, we have invested in 2 companies. We have 2 more that we have signed documentation with, but we've not announced those, so stay tuned. But the first company is KB Coles, which is founded by Dr. Vaishali Kulkarni, brilliant lady based out of Pune. She's come up with this novel idea of making colors, biocolors from biodiversity of India, which is really microbes. And she's saving a ton of water, getting us away as a society from petrochemical-based paint extracts, paint, actually Freudian slip, petrochemical-based paints, and her applications are textiles, eventually paint industry and cosmetics even. So as a society, we'll benefit from having less toxic paints amongst us. And these are vibrant colors that also minimize the use of water. So we're excited about supporting her journey. And we have some great co-investors with us. That's the other thing we've noticed, that we have uniquely positioned, our unique strategy allows us to catalyze other private sector capital by putting our vote of confidence behind a gender smart strategy. And we've been able to catalyze for every dollar we've invested in or every rupee we've invested in, we've catalyzed about 29 rupees, which is a great testimony to our thought leadership and our vast experience as investors. The second company we've backed and supported is a woman co-founded company.
So how critical are these funds and how much do you think that we've really addressed the gender gap in the entrepreneurial ecosystem? How much more do we have to go?
The landscape is changing. So the great news, Avan, is that the landscape is beginning to change and people are becoming more conscious of it. Is it at the perfect there is no such thing as a perfect scenario, but we can aspire to it. But we have miles and miles away from that right now happening. It is difficult to raise funding as a female founder, and you can hear enough and more interviews of the women who've actually made it big and the few women that you can probably count on one, maybe two hands at most. It is a difficult journey. And for people who say, oh, well, but it doesn't actually exist, we are gender agnostic as a fund, we back the best ideas. My humble suggestion there is look at your deal flow. And it is not about who you back. Nobody's calling the source of capital necessarily biased as extensively as some of the other sources can be. It is more about access. It's more about access to opportunity. And for all my friends in the venture industry who say, oh, but we're not biased, I'm saying it's not about you. It's about, is society and is our economy giving enough opportunities to these women to be able to even approach your doorstep, such that, first of all, do they even know that? So it's more systemic, it's more ecosystem based. There is greater awareness percolating. I have to say, Startup India has done a phenomenal job of spreading that awareness, but we have miles to go.
Thank you so much for joining in. Good speaking with you.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.